Now, WJZ's Purple Playbook brought to you by M&T Bank.
And welcome into Purple Playbook, coming to you from Jimmy's Famous Seafood. I'm Alex Glaze, joined as always by two-time Super Bowl champion Torrey Smith, Rick Ritter, and Isaiah Likely back joining us. Guys, a lot has changed since the last time we were here at Jimmy's. I think it was during the bye week. The Ravens have won 4 straight games, and it feels like a completely different season. Isaiah, does it feel like that on the inside? Just can you feel the shift?
For sure, and I feel like that was just, really the message going into the bye week, just understanding that, everything that we've done in the past to that point was behind us, just starting a new leaf, new year, coming out that bye week and just hitting everything running.
And Torrey, we've talked about this. I mean, what do you think has gone into these 4 wins, and just how far can this team go now that it seems like things are back on track?
I think it's just the team as a whole has been playing better and figuring out ways to close out games, right? When you look at the majority of the games early on, people act like they were getting beat by 50 points every game, right? It's the NFL. It's a possession or two that tends to decide a game. And health was a major factor. So when this team is fully healthy, they're going to win games. It's that simple, and that's why I never panicked. I got called all kinds of homers, and I'm afraid of Harbaugh and everything else because it was the honest truth. When this team is healthy, they can beat anyone in this league. They can be considered the best team in the league. And so, to me, I never doubted that. Like, you can't be a person or an individual that felt that way before the first game of the season, and now all of a sudden a handful of games in, you've completely jumped ship. To me, I felt like the talent's there, and as long as you have Lamar Jackson as your quarterback and he's healthy, you have a good chance anyway.
Similar last year, defense started out a little bit slow. They start to catch fire mid-season on. And it's funny, the last time that we were sitting here, we were talking about the Odafe Owe trade and what was that going to mean. You pull the safety in from the Chargers, it frees Kyle Hamilton to come up in the box a little bit, play a little more aggressive as he likes to play. When you're sitting there and you're looking at this defense and what they've been able to do in this 4-game winning streak, I mean, you can't say much more about how well they've been playing.
Nah, and I say like they're just all playing off of each other. I feel like, the defense is out there having fun. And I feel like that's just, the mantra that they really was missing the first 5 games is everybody was a little uptight. Everybody was trying to make the splash play. Everybody was trying to do more than their job was, counting on them to do. So, like, everybody just coming off the bye, trusting one another, having a heart-to-heart with everybody in the room and telling everybody, man, just out there, have fun, do your job, and let the plays happen and come to you. And I feel like they're showing that now.
Yeah, when we talk about the defense and playmakers, you can't not talk about Kyle Hamilton. I mean, just a special player, a unicorn, the ultimate chess piece. He lines up everywhere on defense. I mean, we've seen him get after the quarterback. We've seen him line up at defensive tackle, safety. I mean, how would you describe the advantage that he gives your defense when you can just like put him anywhere and he is just as effective?
Yeah, and I'll say like, I see funny things around Twitter where it says like, if you have a position, where it needs help, just put Kyle there. And I feel like
it's true.
I feel like Kyle embraces that role, just studying the game plan, knowing what everybody has to do, knowing what he has to do, and knowing his strengths. And I feel like Kyle just plays with relentless effort and just shows the type of player that you got that he promised you guys that you guys are going to get, he's going to be.
Absolutely. And we're talking about this 4-game win streak, obviously just coming off that Browns win. The offense ices that game with what looked like was going to be a tush-push. The play was called Hurricane. I know you weren't on the field for it, but you see Mark Andrews hit 20 miles an hour and score to end that game. Have you ever seen Mark move that fast? I mean, 20 miles an hour, that's pretty – big fella's moving a little bit.
Yeah, and I always, like when the offseason happened and me and Mark will try to do this thing where, like, we're trying to run around and try to race, see who got the top speed. Mark takes it a little more serious than me, obviously. I mean, everybody knows how Mark gets, how serious he is. But, nah, Mark's, a worker. And I feel like, the 20 wasn't really a surprise to me because he'll always let me know if he's hitting a 20 in practice. But, like, when the play was called, I knew – it was going to hit, and especially because I don't think nobody's ever seen a play like that. And when you have Lamar and Derrick Henry going the opposite way, if you don't score, it's a problem.
We asked you, did you practice that play? What was your response?
Absolutely not.
You want nothing to do with the tush push.
And Torrey, you were a part of a famous trick play, Philly Special, back when you guys won that Super Bowl in Philly. Just take us to that moment and when you hear the call, and is it just something where you just know when something gets called, like this is going to
Oh, absolutely. And for us, it was called during a timeout, so we had even more time to digest that. Hey, we're really about to run this play. You know what I mean? And that play that Mark Andrews ran is definitely fits the category of a play that you practice it. It's situational. And you're like, and you truly believe, like, man, we created this play. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. And I remember when we practiced Philly special and practiced multiple times, like I just remember always being wide open, right? And in the original read, a lot of people don't know this. Alshon Jeffrey ran the wrong route. He was actually supposed to run like a V out where he goes in towards the middle of the field and goes back towards the corner. Well, he just runs straight across the field, which allowed everything to be a clear picture for Trey Burton and to see Nick Foles out in front. But also, I was running wide open behind him because they dropped everyone. It was a great play. But again, it's one of those things it's like the little kid in you, like when you're playing outside and you call it a flea flick, you're like, yeah, we're going to get him. It's that same feeling in pro form. It was really cool.
Look, a lot of praise for the defense right now. Of course, the offense at times over the past couple of weeks, some difficulty moving the ball. When you look at the offense right now, what is your assessment of where you guys are at this point and what still needs to happen to put more points on the board and, quite frankly, move the ball more efficiently?
I mean, it just really winning your 111. I mean, I feel like a lot of people don't really realize, like, the last couple of weeks, the defenses we played are ranked very high in the NFL.
Very good.
And the other side gets paid a lot of money to stop you. So I feel like, taking that into account and then obviously understand that, it takes your 111 to the play to start. So if you're not winning your 111, if you're struggling to win your 111 or trying to worry about somebody else's job or not doing your job to the best of the ability, it's going to, stop great players from being great. I mean, everybody knows that you want to get Derrick Henry the ball. You want to get him going because at the end of the day, King Henry's going to do what King Henry does. Lamar's going to do what Lamar does. So trying to get those people starting the offense obviously kickstarts your offense.
I think it's good that you pointed that out because those defenses were real. Like Myles Garrett is an absolute problem.
4 sacks.
There are very few people. You think, oh man, 4 sacks, the Ravens offensive line. Well, guess what? He gave someone else 5 earlier this year, right? The guy can play. I think it's important to know, like, that's NFL football. And so, as long as you're able to check the box in the win column, that's what matters at the end of the day. But hopefully that momentum builds as you continue to go forward.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk more about Mark Andrews as he is getting ready to potentially make history again on Sunday. We're going to get Isaiah's thoughts on his fellow tight end when we come back. More Purple Playbook. It's coming right at
you. This is the Purple Playbook, brought to you by M&T Bank. The winning prognosis, brought to you by LifeBridge Health. Care bravely.
And welcome back to Purple Playbook. We're talking about the offense. You got to talk about Mark Andrews, who's getting ready to make history again. He's already the Ravens franchise leader in receiving touchdowns and receiving yards. Receptions is coming up. It's going to happen. I think he's 4 away from that right now. We know how close the tight end room is. We know how close you are with Mark. Just how cool is it to just have that front row seat to just history being made and to watch a guy like that just go to work every day?
Yeah, and I feel like, I was blessed, to be put in a position where you have a guy that was an all-pro that you get to watch and grow up behind. And that's really just, something that, when you're a rookie, you get told these crazy nightmare stories of vets not trying to help you out, vets trying to push you to the side. And Mark was none of those. Mark taught me how to really watch film, how to take care of my body, how to really just be a pro's pro. And I feel like, that's just something that gets swept under the rug with Mark because everybody sees, the things that he does on the field and forgets that, to get there, you have to do a lot of stuff off the field. And that's just something Mark's taught me.
You look at last season at this time, Isaiah was having a monster year, was getting in the end zone, the yards were racking up. This year, it's kind of Mark Andrews getting more of that spotlight. You played on a couple of teams, you think about Baltimore with you and Anquan, Philly with you and Alshon. It takes a special group in that room to put your ego in your back pocket and buy into the team mentality to the point where it doesn't matter if I'm getting the ball or not.
And it has to be authentic, right? When it's fake, it shows. And I think with this team, you never know when it's going to be your week. And that was the mindset that we played with when we won the Super Bowl here. That was also the mindset that we played with when I was in Philadelphia. I played on 2 Super Bowl teams and won both times, and we did not have a 1,000-yard receiver on any team. And so in simply understanding that, it goes to show that, one, you have a variety of guys that can have an impact on the game, but also if you go and watch someone score a touchdown, right? Look at the reactions from their teammates, and that'll let you know how authentic it is in terms of how much they care. What are the conversations like on the sideline, right? I've been on teams where someone scores a touchdown and there's a player that's concerned about their numbers, and they're at one end of the bench and everyone else is over there giving the guy high fives. I've been on the teams here, like here in Philadelphia, where everyone's there because we're trying to win the game.
Yeah.
Right? And for my playing experience, not to go too far off track, I've learned that if you focus on the things that really matter, you being open, being available, making plays, celebrating everyone else's success, eventually your number's going to come. And when you're a hater, nothing good happens for you or for your team. And so that's a life lesson on and off the field.
Yeah. I was going to say, Isaiah, have you found that it's kind of easy to have that unselfish mentality when, you have you, Charlie, Mark, you guys are all on the same page, so close and so happy for each other when each other's having success?
For sure. And I feel like, that just goes into, how you practice, how you work, and really the relationships you form, like, on the team. Like, everybody looks at the stat book and sees, like, what somebody did for their fantasy team. And that's just not how football games are won. And I feel like how Torrey said, like, it's how connected you are on the field. Like, are you running to get the extra block if somebody catches the ball? Are you the first person trying to sprint down there when they score? Are you picking your guy up when he gets tackled? It'd be stuff like that. Obviously, sometimes I'm not the first to get over there when Mark scores because he's a headbutter, and I'll be having to try to finish games. Yeah, and if you ever see Mark grit his mouthpiece, and after he scores, he's looking for the first person to headbutt. And I learned rookie year that's not a good place to be.
I was going to say, we're talking about the stuff that goes unnoticed. On Hurricane, Charlie Kohler getting two guys on that block as well on the other side to really open up that run for Mark.
Yeah, and I feel like, that if you watch the whole play, you'll watch Charlie and Pat just celebrating while Mark's at the 15-yard line, acting like they scored. And that's just, the type of enthusiasm and electricity that you want from your team for real.
Yeah, and now we're turning the page to the Jets. Obviously, you guys are coming back at home. Just what excites you most about coming back to Baltimore on a 4-game win streak, and having an opportunity to extend that to 5 and continue to keep pace or potentially take over that top spot in the AFC North?
You finally get back off silent cadence. You get to have your crowd involved. You get to have the city of Baltimore behind you, and really just shouting and letting teams know why we're the best stadium in the National Football League.
There you go.
Offensive-wise, you can clap it up for that. Yeah. Don't be shy. Offensive-wise, what can we expect here as we come into this last half of the season, really?
I really feel like you'll just see, at the end of the day, you're trying to win games, so you're trying to do the best possible things to win that game, whether it's run the ball, passing the ball, whether it's trying to get creative in some new plays of formations or plays you've run over and over that teams are starting to now get a jump on. I feel like offense now is just, okay, what have we struggled in? What have we done positively, and how can we improve, or how can we play off of plays?
I think there's some plays you guys have been holding back on a little bit for this last stretch.
More Hurricane-type plays?
We did run, tush push a little bit, so Hurricane was definitely a great play to run, so tune in.
Top secret.
And Torrey, we're getting to that point of the year where, every team's banged up. Nobody's 100% now. And, I think that when Lamar Jackson misses practice, everyone immediately starts to freak out a little bit. But how important is it also with the Ravens having a bye week earlier in the season to give guys some time to rest and get their bodies right, especially now as we enter that second half of the season?
Yeah, there's always a plan, and there's multiple ways to control it, right? There's some guys that you cannot be out on the field, right? It's more important. You're better being off the field than you are on it for your own health. And then there's the way you practice, right? Coach Harbaugh is a changed man from when I was younger, right? Like he will dial back on some periods.
What are you talking about? Go into detail here.
That's a guy that will work you hard. Old school mindset, right? And he understands, and because of sports science and how far things have come, you hear people talk about the catapult system, and you heard him mention it earlier when talking about the GPS speed. One thing that people don't realize is that it also tracks the distance that you cover and the rate at which you cover it. Why is that important? Soft tissue injuries, hamstring strains, quad strains. Some guys are older. wait, we noticed that when you reach this amount of yards, you're complaining a little bit more about your knee problems or whatever it may be. So they're using sports science to help them to be as healthy as possible, and you're starting to see the benefits of that for this team, and that bye week was needed to save this team early on. And I think right now it's about maintaining it and trying to be as healthy as you can.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we got to talk Thanksgiving, right? We have Isaiah Likely here. We have to find out what Thanksgivings are like for Isaiah, and you know, there's a big game coming up on Thanksgiving as well. So we'll talk a little bit about that Bengals matchup as well when Purple Playbook continues.
This is the Purple Playbook, brought to you by M&T Bank. The Bottom Line, brought to you by M&T Bank.
And welcome back to Purple Playbook. We talked about the Jets game. Now we got to kind of look a little bit ahead, if you will, for a second, to big Thanksgiving matchup as well. This is the last time we'll get you before that. Just what excites you most about, you know, playing in prime time? All eyes are going to be on you that game. Is that something that's exciting for you?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's always great that, you know, having your team play on prime time, because it means, you know, the world wants to see you. But it's also, you know, just trying to keep one foot in front of the other, trying to stack wins. I mean, that's just, you know, the name of the game right now. And playing a divisional opponent is obviously going to be hard, you know, because they know you know them, but you're trying to get the best outcome.
Favorite Thanksgiving memory for you? You remember watching football as a kid growing up? Was there a specific game, a specific player? Take us through some of that family tradition.
I'm trying to think. I don't really think I have like a football favorite. Well, obviously,
Did you play in any turkey bowls or anything?
Yeah, so like when I was a kid, like obviously like after, you know, when little kids have energy after you have your first plate and they're telling you wait on your second, you know, you start trying to look around the house, things to do, and I was blessed to have a bunch of cousins, everything, so we just started playing tackle football. And when you put a couple holes in the walls, you know, get yelled at a little bit, that second plate comes a little faster.
And, Torrey, you know, I got to say, I used to participate in some turkey bowls as well as some old high school friends. It's cold, man. It's cold when you're out there on that Thursday morning. I mean, just you get out there with your kids on Thanksgiving morning.
And typically, I go on vacation the last few years. I've been going on vacation on Thanksgiving. Because
So you're not dealing with the cold.
It's been a stop. But now, when I think about Thanksgiving, I have a great perspective of it. I'll be home, celebrate with my family this year. My siblings and stuff are coming over with all of their kids. But I remember watching the games, right? And watching the games growing up, getting yelled at for being in the front of our big old box TVs that was sitting on the ground, right? And fast forwarding to having the opportunity to play in those games, knowing that everyone's watching, knowing that you're playing and folks are creating memories, and that, you know, you might make a play that they remember you forever because of it. So I think it's really cool, man, that the guys get the opportunity to do it. And I'm looking forward to going up to the stadium, doing a pregame show, and I'm leaving ASAP to go back, and I'm going to watch the game at home with my kids.
Torrey brings up a good point. Is there added juice when you got a game like this where you know everybody is watching?
I wouldn't say added juice. It's just like, I guess like it feels like the TV timeouts be longer. Am I tripping? Like, it feel like every time I feel like you
Gotta pay the bills, commercials, man.
Ain't it? But I guess like every time I be trying to get on from like kickoff return or like something happens, like a defensive turnover, they'd be like, dang, another 2 minutes, 30 seconds? Like, coach, I'm trying to go. Like,
Listen, you know they're watching overseas. This is a league that's trying to expand now, so they'll take money from everywhere.
All right, and if we're talking Thanksgiving, we have to talk food because one of your teammates has some ridiculous food takes. We got to talk Marlon Humphrey.
Oh, my goodness.
Why do we even
Hold on,
why
I'm
do
about
we
to break-
even waste
hold
our
on, I'm
breath
about
on
to break
him
some
every
news to
Thanksgiving?
Isaiah. So Marlon does not. First of all, he doesn't like mac and cheese. Mac and cheese.
that's what you got at Thanksgiving.
But that's Thanksgiving food because there's some people out there who don't believe that mac and cheese belongs on Thanksgiving. Where's your?
If there's no mac and cheese at my Thanksgiving, I think I'm just going to chalk it up.
You're at the wrong place.
Yeah, I'm just going to chalk it up. I'm going to call my mama, see if she cook, see what it is, and try to get from there.
Mac and cheese is a must. I mean, come on.
Guarantee you. I think it goes turkey and then macaroni and cheese.
Not even a turkey.
No. Turkey's.
I like ham.
Ham.
Yes.
Ham. Gotta have the honey baked
Find out
ham.
honey ham.
I'm gonna eat
Ham
the
and turkey.
but I can skip the ham. Give me a fried turkey all day.
Give us top 3 Thanksgiving foods. Gotta get some power rankings here.
I got ham,
Yep.
mac and cheese, grandma stuffing,
Okay.
and then like, cause she'll yell at me, I'll put the greens on the plate.
Okay.
That's a big three, right? That's like the heat.
How do we feel about cranberry sauce? Like
Never.
the
Absolutely not.
canned cranberry sauce.
No,
Absolutely not.
No,
You said no. People know what
they can keep that.
Yeah, I'm straight.
You guys are doing
If you need to dump that on what you're eating, then I have some questions for your show.
You guys are doing it all wrong. The
I'm
canned
straight.
cranberry sauce is the way to go. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to wrap the show. We come back.
This is the Purple Playbook, brought to you by M&T Bank. Now, WJZ's Purple Playbook, brought to you by M&T Bank.
And welcome back to Purple Playbook. As we wrap up the show, got to get some final thoughts on the Jets game. So I guess, Isaiah, just where's your mind at? What are you thinking about as you guys get ready to come back home, hopefully extend this win streak to 5 games? And, it seems like anything that you want to do season-wise is ahead of you. All your goals, everything's in your control.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, that just starts off of, trying to be 1-0 this week. And that's just, from my standpoint on the offense, it's really just, maximizing plays, getting the first down, and executing in the red zone. I feel like, if we hit on those points right there and the defense, keeps playing as the defense is playing, we have a really good chance of doing what we need to do out there.
Look, I'm not your agent, but I do want to see Isaiah start getting the ball.
Hey, team first. The ball's gonna find him. The ball's gonna find.
I want the wins too, but
he's doing everything. He's looking good on film, right? They just had to warm him up. Remember, Isaiah had an injury earlier this year, so they just want to get
how quick
get him
we
some wind
forget, though.
sprints to get him back going.
That's fun. Isaiah, just also kind of along the same lines, just how tough is it to shut out all the outside noise when things are going right now, right? When things are going bad, you can cut the TV off, but, with social media, everyone now is back to talking Ravens on all the sports shows. Just how tough is it to shut out that noise and just keep the main thing, and just focus on going 1-0?
I mean, I feel like it's easy because you just remember on what they were saying when it wasn't going right. I mean, you just remember all the things that they were saying, whether it was, man, it's time for them to rebuild, it's time for them to cut, it's time for them to trade, it's time to blase, blah, blah, blah. And, like, when they start doing it, it's like, look at you came back. And it's just like you get that feeling. It's just like you let them just be who they are in the dark and just keep doing you.
Absolutely. All right, well, big game on Sunday against the Jets. That's going to do it for this week's Purple Playbook. I'm Alex Glaze, as always, joined by 2-time Super Bowl champion Torrey Smith, Rick Ritter, and Isaiah Likely here at Jimmy's Famous Seafood. Thank you for watching.